There are differing views on the impact of social media on our lives. For some people, social media is a means of escape for a short time, and for some others, it is their entire life. Researchers and scholars have assessed the ways in which social media can negatively impact people regarding personality traits, body image, and mental health. Certain personality traits may increase the likelihood of a person being addicted to social media. In 2018, researchers from Binghamton University and DePaul University wanted to see if there was a correlation between certain personality traits and addiction to social media. The researchers used 300 college-age students for this study. The study was based around the Big Five theory or five-factor personality model, which is used to theoretically understand the human personality. The personality traits of the Big Five theory are neuroticism, conscientiousness, agreeableness, extroversion, and openness to experience, but the investigators only used the first three. They found that with neuroticism, which is the extent to which people experience negative emotions such as stress and anxiety, there was an increase in the chances of developing social networking addiction. The researchers also found that high levels of conscientiousness, which is having impulse control and the drive to achieve specific goals, it decreased the probability of developing social media addiction. Conscientiousness paired with agreeableness, which is the degree to which someone is friendly, empathetic, and helpful, with both traits being either low or high at the same time, there was a higher probability of social networking addiction. In 2015, Rachel Cohen and Alex Blazinski wanted to research whether the correlation between appearance comparison and body image dissatisfaction would increase with exposure to social media images in comparison to conventional media images. The examiners used 193 first-year college university women with an age range of 17 to 46 years old. The women were placed into either the Facebook control group or conventional media control group, and they all viewed a sequence of thin ideal images. Before and after their image exposure, the women completed questionnaires that measured thin ideal internalization, appearance comparison, self-esteem, Facebook use, and eating disorder risks. The researchers found that the type of media did not moderate the correlation between comparison of appearance and changes in dissatisfaction with body image. The investigators also found that Facebook usage predicted a higher body image dissatisfaction reference point, and it was linked to a greater risk of eating disorders. Author and science journalist Harriet Brown, in her book Body of Truth, briefly explained a study that was done in 2011 on overweight and obese African American women regarding losing weight. In the book, she mentions that weight cycling correlated with a higher drive for thinness, lower body satisfaction, and lower self-esteem. Harriet Brown teaches classes on body diversity, and for one of those sessions, she has students bring in social media images of bodies that the students view as thin, fat, and normal. Brown stated that for the thin category, students mostly brought her images of celebrities considered not just thin, but also beautiful. For the fat category, the students would bring in uncomplimentary images that were often used for news stories on obesities, also known as Charlotte Cooper's headless fatties. Harriet Brown indicated that the normal category is the most challenging one for the students, which is the purpose of her project. Brown does this project in the hopes of opening up a dialogue on the views of real bodies, not just social media ones. Further into her book, she mentions upward and downward comparisons, with upward comparisons being defined as when we judge ourselves against those we see as better than us, it tends to make us feel more depressed, enraged, and worthless. And downward comparison is defined in the book as where we judge ourselves against those we see as worse off, which makes us feel better about ourselves. Brown notes that when people constantly look at media images of impossibly thin celebrities and models, it's a form of people engaging in upward comparison. In 2017, behavioral scientist Clarissa Silva conducted interviews with people to see how social media affects or has affected their self esteem and other aspects of their lives. The people that Silva interviewed were men and women with ages ranging from 28 to 73 years old, and a requirement was that they had to be active on social media. Silva found that 60% of her interviewees felt that social media impacted their self esteem in a negative manner. 50% said that social media negatively impacted their relationships, and 80% said that it was easier to be deceived by others through their sharing on social media. Clarissa Silva believes that social media is causing a paradox effect in which it gives the false impression of having many choices while simultaneously making it more difficult to find feasible possibilities. For the media world, the paradox effect would be the amount of social interaction and recognition people have while hiding who they truly are because of how much or how little someone posts to social media. In other words, some people post what they want you to see, which tends to be the more positive aspects of their lives, and obtaining positive feedback helps make those people feel better about themselves. The article also notes that research has shown that Facebook users are becoming increasingly depressed from comparing themselves to their own profiles. This could be evidence of the fact that people mainly post the positive facets of their lives, and when they view their posts, it creates some ill feelings because they are not always living the positive parts of their life that they post, which is why I put this image of a woman seemingly happy at a lake in the front, but in the background, we see a woman um, or the same woman appearing to be sad or depressed, which is how she truly feels, but she's not going to post this background picture because it's more gloom and doom. So instead, they'll post this nice happy picture. In 2016, author and journalist Nancy Jo Sales interviewed with PBS, and the reporter asked Sales to describe the challenges that American girls are facing today that are different from the ones that they have always faced. In her response, Sales mentioned that the sexualization of young women and men and bullying has moved from not just in person, but onto their cell phones and social media as well. Sales also mentioned that the porn aesthetic has become sexual education for a lot of teenagers, and a lot of those images are what the teenagers believe to be the standard of women and their body types. Nancy Jo Sales stated that this can cause damaging effects on teenage girls' body image because those images are what the girls seeing getting all the likes and attention on social media, which is specifically why I chose this Facebook like symbol with all of the different emojis and things within that image. For her own research, Nancy Jo Sales interviewed over 200 teenage girls in 10 different states in over 30 months to see why they were using social media when they knew how it was having an impact on their self-esteem, mental health, and body image. Sales found that the girls appeared to be aware of the toxic ways that social media was affecting them, but they felt they had to partake in social media or else they wouldn't be up to date on everything that was going on in the media world and thus couldn't be part of the conversation. She also mentioned how those teenage girls felt the need to keep up with the ideal images on social media, and some of those girls wanted or received plastic surgery to do just that, which would help not only keep them in the loop, but be the standard. And lastly, I just want to wrap things up by saying that there are multiple positives of social media, such as allowing people to stay in contact with each other, the fast distribution of information, and many other things, but it does not negate the harmful influences that social media can have on a person. Through research and studies, social media has been found to have many adverse consequences regarding people's personality traits, self esteem, body image, and mental and physical health. It is shown that many people know the damaging effects that the media can have on different aspects of their lives, but continue to use it. If anyone is interested in reviewing some of the studies I briefly explained, I did include a works cited slide as well as an image works cited slide. And thank you all for watching. Here's the works cited and the image. Thank you.